Hey guys, so 2018, I have attempted this video twice already, and I realize so many little things have happened that just created a big picture, and I don't know how to put it in order. This is why a journal is important. So if you do have a journal for this is Tea Talk. You can grab one. If not, that's fine. People have reached out to me saying they have been doing these journal prompts. But this one is simply to reflect on 2018. Now, I took a little time off for family, the holidays, but also because if you don't follow me on Instagram, I have been, my seasonal depression has hit. It's not as bad as the past, but it still, affects me. And so I've tried to take some time to regain my energy. To be honest, it's probably going to be a while before I ever feel like actually doing anything, but I'll do it anyway. Knowing the situation and how to handle it. If you don't truly understand what depression feels like, it for every little thing you have to do in everyday life, it takes all your energy. It takes all your effort. It takes every bit of you to get up and do the simplest things, to brush your teeth, to get dressed, to go, you may need a pep talk to go grocery shopping anyway, but you know what I mean? Like, just the simplest everyday things for some reason become mountains. And it's one of those things where you have to really take it moment by moment, day by day. Like I said, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I update there all the time. You guys can find me there. It is in the link below, star_braid, if you just want to look them up now. So we're going to kind of go over, I'm just going to kind of discuss my 2018, and I'm not really sure how, because, there are big things I can mention, but at the same time, it all happened in such a way that I don't know where to start. The first half of 2018 was kind of a blur. I lived 4 hours away from here, and I absolutely love the area. I miss it sometimes. I like being able to go hiking where I hiked, and some of the people that I loved there. But overall, it was me just working to live and living to work. I am not okay with that. I loved where I worked. I loved the people I worked with. I was appreciative of my job. Technically, in the eyes of society, it's the best job I've had. But it's also a thing where I'm like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. It drained me. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to describe the first half of 2018 because it was the same shit, different day. And all I know is that I hated anything to do with romance, and I ran away from every opportunity. I was trying to do some kind of business stuff. Didn't work because I wasn't allowing myself to flow. I knew that my time there had ended already, and that I needed to come back to where I am now, which is my hometown, near my family, near my support system, near all the love that I really need to surround myself with, then and now. And what pushed me is a certain scenario with my family that, here's the thing, guys. This year, I realized that I literally can manifest anything. I can make anything happen with the determination I have. I was able to get a job. I got a house. I got everything done to move here within a month. And sometimes I wonder, why don't I put that kind of effort? And actually, not too long ago, I thought of that. And I was like, why don't I just put that same kind of effort into what I'm doing now? Which we'll get into later. So anyway, I don't have a whole lot to share with you in the first half of 2018, besides the fact that I was kind of stagnant. And I had no intention on starting a YouTube, and I had no intention on sharing more of myself than I had to. I was very angry. I was very hurt, and I was trying so hard to work through it, but my healing, could only go so far where I was at. And then I finally decided to move here in after summer. Now, I'll just jump to that part, because when I moved here, it's like the universe just shook me up again. And it was one of these things where I really learned what made me happy, what set my heart on fire, why certain things couldn't work for me. And I mean, here I am on YouTube talking to you already. So that could, if you wanted to write that down, you could. What aspects of yourself did you realize, like what things made you happy and what things made you miserable? I know that's kind of negative, the second part, but it's something to recognize, because the things that I thought that would make me so happy made me miserable. So I remember asking the universe for a job where it was stable hours. I am one of those people about finances. I mean, anyway. So I wanted something stable, and I got a 9-to-5. Don't get me wrong. That kind of stability is a good thing. Except for some reason, not with me. Now, it didn't help that when I moved here, this house, this beautiful house, it's not very big, but it's the perfect size for me, and my daughter, and I love it. But I had to paint this bitch. And I spent 12 hours a day painting this before we moved anything in here. And I was worn out. I was worn to my core between the move and the painting and the getting everything ready and the worn to my core. And then I jumped right from this into a job, a full-time job. And it was very different than what I had been doing back in the other town I was in, even despite it being the same kind of job. And I don't know what it was. No one was rude. The people weren't bad or anything like that. I don't know. I mean, you have to understand the town that I live in right now, and even just in general, where I lived before was actually a more liberal place to live. No one gave a shit about what you believed. They were curious, if anything, but everyone was generally accepting. They didn't, if it didn't hurt them or anyone else, they don't give a shit. I was able to be vegan. I had to go back to vegetarian, but I'm going towards vegan again around in this area, finding ways. But regardless, very, very different. Where here it is, oh man, if you haven't lived in a southern town, hunting, fishing, church. I mean, there's like 10 churches around here in this small town alone, if that will put it into perspective with you. And everybody lives, not everybody, but most people live the same lives. They got married young, having kids, living this life. And if they're happy, that's awesome. But it's, I don't know. It's one of those things where definite small town vibes. Children are getting married. Oh, I can't talk because I got married at 18. But anyway, not married anymore, obviously. But so moving here, I kind of forgot how it was. And I don't know if it was the vibe of the place I was working at, where it was very, very, very Christian. No one judged me. Of course, I never openly talked about what I believed. I'm not going to say tolerant. I'm very accepting of what people believe, but I understand that, especially here, people aren't going to be as accepting of what I believe. And that can tarnish a business's reputation, as well as I just wasn't at my best. I really wasn't. I was very depressed there. And so the job that I thought was going to make me so happy and that I would love to have ended up being like, not my worst nightmare, but I mean, I could hardly get up in the morning. Whereas I could get up at 4 a.m. now with this job of, yeah, I teach kids in China online now, and I love it. And I can wake up at 3:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I am fine. I am up. Don't get me wrong. Like, at first I'm like, I just want to die. And then I wash my face or whatever, and I get in front of the camera and I start teaching, and I'm good. And I love it. And it energizes me for the day. But not this one. Not this first job I had here. And the 9 to 5 just isn't for me. I hate it. Ugh, I hate it. I don't know what it is. Hate is such a strong word for me. I don't use it often. I hated it. I couldn't do it. I mean, I tried. I really did. I stuck it out until the universe pushed me out and was like, no, you're not doing that. And it's like, but I need money though. So anyway, of course, it worked out because here I am on YouTube teaching in the morning. I have another part-time job. And even though it's not ideal, I love it. I love the people I work with. It's fun. It's challenging in a way, but I think just that every day is kind of different. Kind of makes it better for me. I need to be like stimulated mentally to find a job interesting in the slightest. So, yeah. But what I've learned this year, so that's kind of like a recap. So like up until now, you know, that's pretty much just the changes. I moved. I mean, and facing the fact that I am this way was really, really hard. I'm not comfortable being comfortable, if that makes sense. I don't seek drama, but I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want chaos in my life. Like, I don't seek chaos, but I change. I change all the time. And I realize that I'm not okay with stagnation at all. Like, I'm to the point in my life where I'm like, if I feel any form of stagnation, I'm like, no. We don't do that here. And, but some of the biggest things this year, I have to say, is my progress, not only in doing this channel, but in myself, in terms of opening my heart up. I thought, let me just clarify this. I have been talking about opening my heart to romance and how I have been working on that for months now. And I thought maybe it was preparing me for somebody, but it wasn't. Or at least as far as I know. I mean, sure, there might be someone in the future. But you know what? Sometimes these things, like my blocks in romance, any blocks in the heart chakra is going to block you from blessings in the universe just kind of doing its thing for you, with you putting in a little hustle and doing what you got to do, as well as what you want to do. You know, you block your heart in any way, you're going to be blocked from things coming into your life. So I figured out that this year, and I healed a lot of trauma, a lot of past life things. I started trusting my intuition a lot more. My intuition is almost always spot on. Almost. Like, I'll always get frustrated with myself because I'll be like, I'm always one of those people that gives people like the benefit of the doubt. I'm just like, I don't really like, okay, let's just, and then I always like have to, it's like, why didn't I listen to myself? You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where if you just listened to yourself, you could have spared yourself so much. So I definitely have gotten better about that this year. Instead of thinking I'm just crazy and making up stuff in my head, it's like, no, there is a difference. You do make some stuff up in your head, but there is a difference between the two. I've definitely gotten in touch with my empathic ways. So that I'm very, very grateful for that. So maybe that's another thing to write in your journal. What ways have you grown personally? What have you faced? And of course, I've shared most of that with you guys, on Instagram, a little bit on here towards the end of the year. I'm definitely that person now where I will just let it go. Once I learn the lesson, I'll just let it go. And I won't think twice about it. And I'll just kind of be here and keep growing. So that's probably why it's kind of hard for me to reflect on 2018 in a way, because I just kind of let shit go. And I've just learned to open up my heart and open up my mind and let my spirit be free. Because I do have a lot of things this year that I have planned out in steps and little steps, and just kind of keep making steps from there. So I guess this 2018 isn't necessarily everything I've learned just simply because I actually learned them and I've just kind of let them go. But for you guys, maybe it was one of the, like, it's don't get me wrong, this year has been both awesome and fucking gut-wrenching. Like I have felt so much pain this year, but yet I felt so much joy this year, and I felt, I mean, it was just all around just what is happening right now. But you know, I guess the biggest thing I learned this year is the universe has my back. And I have my back. And I do love myself. And that I'm worthy of the things that, you know I need to go for, you know? So what parts of you, like, I know a lot of people may reflect back on this year and be like, oh my, this has been the fucking most ridiculous year I've ever been through. Or maybe you feel the same. Maybe it's just kind of like, I don't even know where, because it's always been great, or it's been like, oh hell, like, why though? You know what I mean? Why am I feeling this? Why am I going through this? Maybe you had an up and down kind of year, but for me, it's not necessarily a blur. I know my lessons and I've applied them, and now it's just kind of like, what did happen this year? Like, I can remember the emotions, but the specifics, it's kind of like, Someone kind of you need another bath, you need another trim. She gets anxious when other people, she's a rescue. Yes, I know. She gets anxious when other people like try to trim her and stuff. I would have to sedate her. So I have to like trim her up, but her hair grows like crazy. New Year's resolution for you though, quit being a nervous wreck. Maybe I should stop being a nervous wreck. Maybe you'd stop. I love you though. Anyway, I have to trim her nails, I have to trim her hair, I have to do everything. And I literally just did it like maybe a week ago. Maybe a little, like a week and a half ago. Like, gave her a bath, brushed her. I don't know what she does. Honestly, she just, you go outside to go potty, and for like that, I don't know. Anyway, I just said potty. I am such a mom. My daughter's 8. So if you don't know, I have a daughter, and she just turned 8 yesterday. No, a couple days ago, the 27th. I can't remember what day it is. So that was big this year. So where was I? I can't remember. So this year, kind of reflect, on if you can remember this year vividly. I mean, we went through a lot this year. Like talking about astrology. If astrology isn't for you, I mean, that's all right. Like, you do you, boo. But oh my gosh, so many like planetary things. And not to mention, okay, I'm a Cancer sun, if you don't know, in the 12th house, which is ruled by Pisces. So all the emotions, all of the water, most of my chart's fire, but in Leo. And but you know what? Like, this year began and ended with a Cancer moon. And now we're as a collective North Node in Cancer. So, and I'm just sitting here like, it's interesting. You know what I mean? It's very, very interesting to me. And guys, why am I even pretending? This year has been insane in such a way that I can't even completely recap what happened, except the fact that I learned a lot, accepted a lot, and let go of a lot. And I hope you guys have too. And I know that this next year, everyone's like, this year's going to be it. You know what? It is. If you want it to be, it's going to be. And I know that I have steps to take in creating what I want to create for my life and stepping up to it. And I hope you guys do too. Don't make resolutions, make steps, make progress, little steps, keep adding steps throughout the year. It doesn't have to be this giant picture for you. Just take steps. And, you'll see your progress. Or maybe you'll be like me and not. Like see it, and it's at the end of the, of everything of the year, and just be like, wow. But once you start letting go and you start flowing, I think, with life, that's probably why I am the way I am right now. I'm just kind of allowing things to happen, and I'm allowing things to be, and I'm allowing things to go, and trying not to fight the current. I know that sounds really weird, like trying not to fight the current, but we do naturally. We fight the current. We fight the flow of life. And I feel like if there's anything to take away from 2018 for all of us as a collective, is flow. Go with it. Don't be afraid of change. Welcome change. Make it have coffee with it, have tea with it, have a love for change. Because that is the only guaranteed consistency beside yourself in this life. And change is inevitable. You might as well get comfortable with it. And this year has been a lot about that. 2019 is going to rock. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be, I think, a lot of things. And I will be putting out readings here soon, because I am going to end this video on that. I feel like this was just an entire but this is a tea talk. It is like a free talk. I was going to do a raw talk, but then when I sat here, I felt this peace over me that I couldn't ignore about this year. And all the pain and all of the shit just kind of melted away, because I recognized how much I actually did let go of certain things. And I hope you guys can do the same. So anyway, your readings will be out here soon. And I hope that, 2018 is almost over. And I hope you guys in your journal can write down, even you don't even have to recap everything. Just an overall sentence. If you can sum it up into one sentence, what was the most key thing to remember from 2018. And if you want to add more, add more. But it's just, they're having fun. My best friend arrived here, so Katie, if you haven't checked our tea time together. So anyway, I really don't know what else to say. So I probably just won't. But I love you guys. And I really hope that after reflecting on 2018 a little bit. Are you guys okay in there? I think that's my cue to go. But I hope that, sorry, had to gather my thoughts. Children. But I really hope that whatever lessons you had in 2018, you take it into 2019 and apply it. And go for it. Whatever it is, just go for it. And like I said, I love you guys. Have a great new year. I'll see you soon with these readings. And leave a comment below. If you can tell me, and everyone who might watch this video, one sentence that could sum up your year of 2018 in a positive light, if there's anything you could take away from it, what would it be in one sentence? So, love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.